What's going on, guys? Car review guys here. My name is AJ, and this week we have the 2025 Honda Passport Trailsport Elite. It's a lot to get out there, but nonetheless, this is the full review. Next video, 5 things to love, 5 things to improve. We do it every week, every manufacturer, over 24,000 subscribers. Thank each and every one of you. If you're new to my channel, here's the order. So if you need to skip or want to skip wherever you want to go, that is absolutely fine. So we're going to start with a cinematic, 60 seconds or less. Then we're going to go around the exterior, talk through stats, figures, stuff I feel like you guys would want to know. Then we'll jump into the interior, talk through some of that, and then we'll be taking it on a drive. So without further ado, let's jump right on into this review. Let's roll. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that cinematic. Alrighty, so this Trailsport Elite is a 3.5 liter 6-cylinder pushing 285 horsepower and 262 pound-feet of torque. Transmission is a 10-speed auto. Drivetrain is all-wheel drive. Curb weight's coming in at around 4,229 pounds, which is going to be pushing it in 0 to 60 in about 6.5 seconds. Pretty good. Towing, 5,000 pounds. MPG 19 city, 24 highway with a combined average of around 21 MPGs. Gas tank size is 19.5 gallons. Vehicle dimensions, overall length is around 15.8 feet. Width is around 6.5 feet, without the mirrors, of course. Ground clearance is around 8.3 inches. I believe that's about 0.2 inches over just the standard Passport. Pricing starts at around $44,740 for the base RTL. The tester today, I don't have the exact window sticker in front of me, to be honest, but it is around $54,355, give or take just a little bit. Again, I don't have the window sticker in front of me. Nonetheless, while we are back here, let's just go ahead and pop this up. There's a button right underneath the Honda emblem. Up it will go. Now, we'll take a look back here, and we have plenty of room. Like, there is room for days. You got a little cubby hole here, you got a cubby hole there, cubby hole over there, and of course you can lay the seats down as well. And then you also have an outlet located over there as well. And then, as always, I will put here on the screen the cubic feet with seats up and down. Just a few things to note, there are parking sensors located back here. You can see one of them right there. You can see the hitch is located down below with the hookup over on the left for the wiring, the lights, and whatnot. This is a special paint. As you can see, all of the pearl in it. It looks really, really good. It's not just a bland white, which is nice. And then over here on the driver's side, you can see fuel door, obviously. And then, this being an off-road focused vehicle, it obviously has some all-terrain tires on it. And as far as the size goes, it is a 275/60/18. One thing that is surprising is it does have keyless entry on all 4 doors. You're going to see that it is located right there on the rear and also on the front. Hopefully you can see it there. So that is definitely nice. Having it on all 4 doors, not something I expected. But it is, again, that's super nice to see. This does have a 360 camera, obviously underneath both the mirrors in the front and in the rear. I'll show you that and what it looks like on the interior momentarily. There is some different options and whatnot for different skid plates and all kinds of stuff underneath. You can see that there is tow hooks located there, and then you can see it kind of goes at an angle. Again, off-road focus, right? That's basically what this is for, and they've done a nice job at that. I test every single vehicle, whether it's easy to get in or not, front and rear. I'm 5'9" if you're new to this channel. So let's go ahead and step on in. So if we step in, you step up just a little bit because it's kind of like stadium seating back here, but it's not bad at all. If we take a look, this is my exact view. Again, you can see kind of over the headrest, which is a nice thing. That way you're not, you know, most vehicles you're like this and you're kind of like looking around. Nope, we're sitting right here. That is dead on what I can see. You can still see out in front of you, and that is nice. See, the panoramic roof definitely makes it feel very spacious, and it is very spacious. I mean, I've got probably 8.5 inches of leg room. This is where I sit to drive. And if we spin this around, as far as headspace goes, I would say they're a good 5 inches, 4.5, somewhere in there. Like, it's a good amount of space. And then as far as the door goes, you have your own sunshade you can obviously put up. And then this is almost like a, I don't know, it's just a unique design. Pretty cool looking, soft touch where your elbow goes. This is also soft touch, and this is more like a rubberized feel up there. Window switch, no wiggle, no jiggle, just a little bezel, looks nice. Put some there is cup holders there. You can put some drinks there if you need. Seat back pockets, heated seats for back here. You have your own temperature control as well. Couple USB-Cs and an outlet. And then you have 2 cup holders and an armrest, and it is nice and soft. All right, time to test the front. Let's see if the front is easy to get in as well. Again, the rear is easy, just the seat sits up a little bit higher because it's stadium type seating. So going ahead and jumping into the front, super easy because the seat's just a little bit lower than the rear, and then you have tons of headspace up here, which is nice. Now that we are in here, let's go ahead and take a look, straighten this wheel up for us a little bit. You're going to notice right off the bat, you have the heated steering wheel located right down here. Trailsport. It's not going to let you forget. This is a Trailsport. And then it's also a Passport. And then it's a Trailsport. And then it's a Trailsport. So it's going to let you know that it's a Trailsport, which is fine. You have memory seating, 2 different settings. And again, similar to the rear door, which is nice. A lot of times the rear door, they kind of, not they as in Honda, just OEMs in general seem to cheap out. And that is not the case. This is just like the rear, which means the rear was not cheaped out on, and that again is nice. Power folding mirrors located right there. To pop your hatch, you can see it's located right there. You can see over here for a heated windshield, which is definitely nice if you live in a cold climate. There is no heads-up display on this one. In the center, we've got a digital instrument cluster, and it does look nice, and that's pretty standard for Hondas nowadays. There's nothing too crazy about that. Now back to the steering wheel here. You're going to notice that you do have lane centering located right here, and you can use it without cruise control set. So that's really, really nice. Adaptive cruise control, and then of course your volume seeking, all of that sort of thing. Not too much else to talk about there. Coming over to the touchscreen, let's go ahead and just press something. You can see just how responsive it is. It is really, really good infotainment. I mean, it is fast, just like using your phone, so that's pretty nice. You do have heated seats and ventilated seats. Again, this is the Trailsport Elite. The Elite is definitely giving you some additional features, such as ventilated seats. And then coming on down, you got 2 different USB-Cs, and then you have a wireless charge pad. And then this is the same exact gear selector that was out of my 2017 Acura NSX. So I always think that's funny, and people don't realize how much they cross-use components. But nonetheless, that is there. And then 2 cup holders, and of course your different drive modes to select through. So if we go up here, let's just start at the top. So you have Sport, Normal, Econ, Snow, Trail, Sand, and Tow. So there are a lot. I've been in Sport and Normal. That's pretty much where I've been living, just testing it out because I test what it's like on pavement. There are a ton of videos of these off-road, and we know what they're capable of. But how do all-terrains handle on the road? We're going to find out. So popping the center console, it is quite large. I could probably fit like 4 tissue boxes in there quite easy. So that is a good amount of storage. And then one last point is you can control the rear settings here, and you can also lock it to where they don't mess with it. You know, if you have kids or whatever, that is there as an option. And just taking a look at the seats one more time. Again, I already told you it was branded Trailsport. You can see the nice stitching on there, and they are quite comfortable. All right, and then up above us, you can see the different controls for the panoramic roof. You have a sunglasses holder, and then you have a dimming mirror. And just taking a look again, it is nice and large, which definitely feels nice. That's just about everything on the interior, I do believe. So, oh, I lied. I gotta show you the camera. What are we doing? I apologize for that. So, camera through camera, it's probably flickering a little bit. That's just the refresh rate, no big deal. You can see we've got a 360. Over here, you can change different formats and whatever you want to do. But nonetheless, it is pretty clear. They've done pretty good. It's not the clearest in the industry, but it's definitely not like blurry. So it's very well done. It's just not at the absolute top. But again, there is your camera quality. All right, I think that really is everything now. I apologize. I almost missed the camera, and I know that's pretty important to a lot of you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this Passport Trailsport Elite out on the road. As we get this out on the road, I did want to note also, this is equipped with the Bose speakers as well. And usually you can't go wrong with Bose. My C7 Z06 that I had, I'm not convinced those are actually Bose from Corvette. Big Corvette guy. But anyway, these are good. Is my main point. These are good Bose speakers, which is 95% the case. Just for whatever reason, the Corvette, no good on the C7 in particular. So nonetheless, did want to mention that very quickly as we get it out on the road, because it's out on the pillar and I can see it and read it. And I just wanted to make sure that you all knew that as well. So first impression on this for me was I honestly just backed it into my garage very quickly because it was like 110 degrees and my garage is temp controlled nonetheless. My first impression was opening it up, right? Like I just backed it in my garage and I kind of check out vehicles, like open them up, what's it look like and stuff like that. And there's a ton of space in this thing, like way more than I ever thought. Like I've seen plenty of Passports out on the road, right? But I didn't realize that they had as much space as they have because they don't look that big. They don't look large, but the amount of rear space storage and then even the second row, the amount of space, leg space that you have, man, it's really, really good. So that was really my first impression. Now, first impression driving. I have the lane centering on, don't have cruise control set, and the wheel moves really without me doing much input. It's pretty much doing it. The only reason I'm saying some is because, of course, keep your hand on the wheel, right? Safety reasons, blah, blah, blah. We all know that. But it basically is steering for me. And I absolutely love that. Honda is one of the few OEMs, along with Genesis, Hyundai, Kia. They do this as well. You can set the lane centering without cruise control, and it's just so nice to have. Now, let's go ahead and touch on the three noise categories for me. I have wind noise, I have tire noise, and I have powertrain noise. Those are my three. Tire noise, you can hear them. They're all terrains. Is it anything terrible? No. Is it pretty good for all terrains? Yes. But they're definitely present. So if you're wanting to not have that, either have a second set of tires or just look at a Passport without, like, not this trim level without the all-terrain. So totally up to you. But is it livable? Absolutely it is. Second, for wind noise, it's pretty refined. Don't really hear much. They've done a good job there. And then last but not least in the categories is powertrain. And I'm going to be quiet and just floor it for the all-wheel drive system along with the noise. Here we go. So hopefully you could hear that. It is quite loud on accelerations. But now that we're cruising, we set our cruise control and it's good. Like it's very main, like you can't even hear it. There is zero powertrain noise once you're there. So kind of a nice little balance. It's kind of nice to hear it a little bit, maybe a little on the loud side for it being an SUV. It's not a sports car or anything. But again, from all three categories, pretty good. All terrains, as expected, you can hear them, but not bad. Now we're coming up to the cattle guard. We do that every week for not only suspension, but also for the sound. So here we go. Suspension, really good. Again, this is an off-road focused vehicle, so it hits a little bump and it really absorbs it quite nicely. So great job there. Noise-wise, once again, all-terrain, you can hear them. It's no secret. Not going to try to hide it like you can't hear them. But again, I think it's pretty good for all-terrains. Like comparing all-terrain to all-terrains, there are some that, whew, boy, you can hardly hear yourself talk, and that is by no means these. I could absolutely hold a conversation, even at freeway speeds, without any issues. So again, pretty maintained for all-terrains, but they're still all-terrains. Now, as far as the lane centering works, one more time, it works really well. With or without cruise set, this thing will keep you center of the lane, and it works really well. I mean, there's not much more to talk about. Adaptive cruise control, it also works good, speeds up and slows down as I would expect. Let's go ahead and touch on our blind spots. Over to my left, not much of one because you actually have a decent amount of space between you and the pillar, so it just creates an easy gap to look back there. Over to my right, maybe in the very far back, maybe, but then again, I can see in my mirror at that point. But of course, it is equipped with blind spot monitoring if you were to need it. I kind of touched on the drive modes. I showed you all of them, and I just said, you know, during my week with this vehicle, I've really spent my time in sport and normal. Now, sport really isn't all that necessary on a vehicle like this. Personally, I don't think so. I just have really stayed in normal 95% of the time, for sure. Just not really needed in my opinion. All of the off-road modes, I'm sure they work quite well. Again, I test on-road opposed to off-road just because there's so many off-roads out there, and I just don't think I'm adding much value in the YouTube world for all of you. I think it's more, you want to take a weekend trip here or there, you want it to be off-road capable, but this is definitely going to be a daily driver, not just a side piece vehicle, if that makes sense. This is going to be your main bread and butter. So you want to know, what is it like to live with every single day? Getting in and out, it's super easy. It's very maintainable as far as maintenance. It's a Honda, right? They have great track record for maintenance. Reliable is what I'm basically trying to get at. So that's a good thing as well if you're looking at one of these. And again, the all-terrains are better than I expected. A lot of all-terrains I'm not a fan of, and these are quite good. It's a pretty good balance. I'm sure they do quite well off-road as well. I think my biggest takeaway for this is just how much of the luxury amenities you're still getting, but it feels like a smaller SUV as far as how it's driving and handling, but it has so much interior space. Like, you could easily, 4 people that are 6'3" fit in this comfortably, and you could all go on a golf trip because you could easily fit 4 golf bags plus luggage back there. Like, it is a lot of space. And again, the feel of it, driving it, it doesn't feel large, but it has a lot of space inside. So that's definitely a key takeaway for me. Drivability, no real complaints. If I could change probably one thing, those rear seats, those are stationary. You can't go forward, back, you can't lean them, like, they're stationary. So like, I wish maybe they were on a track system, right? To where you can move them around a little bit. Not a huge deal, but again, if we're going to get nitpicky, that's probably the one thing that I would probably change. Otherwise, I think this has just about everything you could want, especially, again, this is an off-road focused vehicle, and we even have ventilated cooled seats. I absolutely love that. It is so nice to have. And just to clarify, to make sure, I take these vehicles out on the freeway as well. I speak to it to make sure you guys know. It's not like, oh, you know, you gave the noise on just around town, but not on the freeway. I've tested that. I would let you know if it is that much louder in any category on the freeway. But I try to do the same route every week, so that way it is the same and you can compare other vehicles the same way. If you want to be, you know, look at it on my channel, you can go back, you can watch the cattle guard section. How does my body react? I can't fake that. Like, there's nothing that I could do to change that. So just wanted to clarify for all of you. Next video, 5 things to love, 5 things to improve. We do it every week, every manufacturer, unless we have a week in between where we're not doing that and we're doing something with my own cars, sports cars, whatever. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's review. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.